all about the healing. What up, though? What up, though? What up, though, with my peeps? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. My day ones, my day twos, my new news. What's up? Because, oh yeah, I love you. Yes, I do. All right. So, with that, let's get into it. All right. So, we got release judgment. We got depleted. We got pay attention. We got stand your ground. We got, other cards. Grass is greener and ghost. All right, so first off, this is it's about a past relationship. However, it's about a past relationship, but it's about you. So this is it. Okay, so this person here that you was in a past relationship with, they were really jealous of you. They were jealous of they could see you. They could see your value. They could see all the good things about you. They can see that you were nothing like them. They can see that it was something different and unique about you, something abundant, fruitful. Your energy, your the way you thought things through, the wisdom, the clarity that you had, what you represented, even though you didn't see it in the past, you knew you were different because of how people treated you and how your life, you knew something was up, but you did not believe in yourself. You did not believe the value. You didn't believe that you held that type of value. You didn't believe and have faith in your abilities, your talents, and your gifts. You didn't believe in them. You knew you had them, but you didn't believe in the past. But this person, they knew all the time. They knew all into it. But they never wanted you to know. They never wanted you to find out about you. However, they knew that it was something different. They knew that it was something abundant. They knew something was rich and unique about you. However, and you didn't know it, but however, they didn't know based off the choice between you and another individual, that you held the power, you held the anointing, you were the better option. They knew it was something good about you, but they did not know, according to this person, between the two, that you were the better option. You were the better choice. You were the MVP. You were the top tier. You were the one. There was no choice. You were it. The grass was not greener. No, that other person was not greener. The other person was not better. The other person was not even an option. The other person did not compare to you. What you brought, what you bring, what you are to the table. But they didn't know. Because if they knew, they would have milked. They would have kept. They would have not only kept you, but they would have kept that person as well. They would have never let you go. They would have kept you both. If they knew that it was you. It was you all the time. There were no choices. You were the choice. They messed it up. They misinterpret. They look for superficial things like this option, this other option. They, like I always say, they look good on paper. They look good. They look like they were the better option because of what physically they can bring to the table. But see, spiritually, you were it. See, spiritually, you could bring wealth, abundant. You could manifest money. You could manifest material things. You could manifest spiritually. You can manifest anything you want. Where this person that they thought was the better option, they physically had it going on at that time, but they didn't keep it, and they couldn't keep it. Being tied up with them, both of them together wouldn't be able to keep and manifest and hold on and accumulate and, rise to the top. Not without your energy. Not without you. That's why when this person ghosted you and chose this person and moved on, things didn't pan out. This person married, put a ring on it, made a family, did it all for this person because they thought this person was the better option. They was better than you. They had all this stuff going. They brought something to the table. This person might had money and resources, may have had wealth and abundance in their family. So this person thought that they could always, based off of this person's upbringing and what they family structure was built on, that this person will always be able to be that, have that, according to their family, their generational wealth. They will always have generational wealth. They will always have something on the table because their family, something like that. Something like that this person was looking at and obsessing and then assessing when it came to you and this person as being the better choice. Because when they looked at you at that present moment, you didn't have what this other person had. See, God didn't want them to see what you could bring to the table. God didn't want them to see what you would become. God didn't want them to see what you was going to be working with. See, this was a choice that this person had to make. Instead of them getting to know you, not just physically, but spiritually, if they would have just realized and just took their time to get to know you spiritually, it would have clicked. But see, God didn't want that. God wanted them to choose you for you. God didn't want them to see your potential. You saw their potential, but God didn't want them to see your potential. They saw an aspect of you. They knew you were different. They knew you were abundant. They knew your spirit, your energy was vibrant. It was fulfilling. They knew about your energy and what it felt like and how it was, vibrating high. They knew about that. But they didn't know what that energy could what the energy could generate. They didn't know how vast and abundant and rich, and how you can manifest how the quality, the star quality, the energy in itself, what it could generate and how it could operate and how it could just flow in any type of direction. How whoever is around you, whoever is in your energy field, whoever you married to, whoever you love, whoever you with, whoever is sharing with you, whoever is coming together with you. It's no separation of energy. Your energy would allow them to manifest just as much of them just being around you. They will be able to be very fruitful and will be able to manifest and be able to grow and transform and do whatever they big and bad enough to do with being with you. They didn't know that. You didn't know it, and they didn't know it. You wasn't supposed to. That was hidden. But now, at the present time, you know who you are. You know what you're working with. You know that your energy is hot and popping. You know that you are valuable. You know you are the MVP. You know you are anointed. You know you are a star. You know you star quality. You know you represent star quality. You know it's not nothing that you can't do. It's not nothing you can't manifest if you believe and you have faith in it. Your life ain't easy. You go through stuff all the time, day in and day out. But at the end of the day, you are what you are. You are who you are. You've come to terms with who you are. You know that you know that you know. And you roll with it. But it's just one thing here. It says release judgment. And so when I laid it down, I was like, well, who is this? I was like, who is this? Who needs to release judgment? Who is this? It says release judgment. It says deplete it. It says pay attention. And it says stand your ground. So I was like, who is this? Is this the collective? Or is this person that ghosted them, that thought it was greener, that didn't pick them, saw their value, but didn't know all into? They didn't know. They thought they knew all into you. But God didn't allow them to see the very aspect of you. God didn't allow them to see it. They made a choice of a false narrative that they thought about you. But again, who is this They need to release judgment. Okay, so when I laid it down and I asked the question, we've been working on letting go of people like this that really hurt to the core of who we are as a collective. And this release judgment, I feel like it's the collective. Some of the collective have to release judgment of this individual. Because just like I explained everything, just like I just said, you need to release judgment because, see, God is the one who saved you from this person. God did not allow this person to see just who you are. God didn't allow this person to see that you were the better option, that you were the MVP, you were the choice. God did not allow them to see because the requirement was them to see you for who you were right then and choose you. Because God gave this person enough information that this person knew you were special. This person knew that the way you made them feel, that nobody has ever made them feel that way. God gave them enough information about you that you definitely were worthy. You definitely was a good choice. But God did not show them, didn't give them the real deal, show them the real deal about you. So therefore, this person didn't choose you. They didn't choose you, and they chose another person. In the long run, God helped you. In the long run, God did this for your favor, in your favor. Because if this person had chosen you based off knowing that you were the better option, based off what they can get from you, your life would have been miserable living with this person, because they would have pimped you. They would have took you for everything that you had, and you would have lived a life depleted, empty. You would have lived a life not fulfilled, lived a life constantly pumping out, constantly giving, constantly giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, to the point where you will be depleted and empty all your life living with this person, because it would definitely would have been about them, never about you. So God has said, release your judgment concerning this person. Even though they hurt you to the core, they broke you into pieces, but God said it was for your benefit. in the long run, it was for your benefit that they ghosted you and left you. They left you for dead. They left you and you just felt dead inside without this person. Empty, depleted. Your whole life changed, and your whole life was uprooted because you didn't have this person, because this person was not in your life. But God saved you, so you no longer need to cast judgment. You no longer have to sit with this judgment towards this person. God said, let it go, release it. You no longer need to hold justice or render justice for this person. Let it go. The thought of you not being with them is justice enough. This person have to live the rest of their life knowing that they made the wrong choice, chose the wrong person, made you an option when you were never the option. You were the choice. Treated you in such a manner, treated you in such a way. They have to live the rest of their life like that, with that on them, not you. You have to release this and let this go. And live your life and live it more abundantly. Manifesting everything you big and bad enough to manifest for your life. Without carrying this load on your back. You would have been depleted. You would have been low valley, low vibrational. You wouldn't have been able to flow. You wouldn't have been able to live. You wouldn't have been happy. You would have been having to deal with jealous people, jealous spouse, jealous people around you, jealous women, jealous men, jealous friends, because this whole thing would have been about that energy. Jealousy. Right. And so God is saying, pay attention. Good God. So God is saying, pay attention to your feelings about judgment about this person. Pay attention about rendering judgment on this person. Because God wants you to release this and let that go so you can be free. See, when you're in a situation where you're rendering judgment on this individual, you're not as free as you need to be. You still rendering, you still holding, you still doing, you still rendering and sending and fighting. See, you still standing your ground in the situation, and you fighting against this person because they didn't choose you. They ghosted you and made you feel inferior and made you feel less than and that you wasn't good enough. But you had already healed all of that. So what are you holding on to that for? You already know who you are. You don't need to render no more judgment. You need to let that go and let God do what God gonna do concerning this person. Because this in itself, every time they see you, every time they hear your name, it is a problem in a situation. Because they did not choose the MVP, the real MVP. They slept on the real MVP. They ghosted the real MVP. They had the real one in the palm of their hand, and they ghosted it, stepped on it, misused it, abused it, neglected it, hated on it. And now they must pay every day for the rest of their life. They have to live with that. But you don't. You don't have to live with it. You don't have to have anger and animosity and bitterness towards this person. You could actually go on and have and be happy, fulfilled. Not saying that you're not, but God is saying when you're holding on and you're rendering jealousy, render judgment, you're not all the way free. You're holding on to some things, and you're fighting. You standing your ground and you're fighting against this person. You're rendering judgment. When you render judgment, you're fighting against some things. And God said, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You can actually let this go and live the rest of your days fulfilled and happy and free. Because see, this person is not going to be free. You're going to be free. If you just let this go, you will be free, and free indeed to be happy, laughing, travel. You could be free to have friends and lovers and love and marry and family. You could be free. If you just let this go and let God do what God gonna do concerning this person. Because they gonna have to live with. They gonna be depleted. They got to live with the choices and decisions that they made concerning you. Uh-oh. And we're going to have to end it right there. That's all I got to say about this. It's 27 minutes. I got to go. So with that being said, there it is. Let it go. Let it go, sis. Let it go, bro. Let it go. It is not. Just let it go. It ain't worth it. But your life, your future, your present, your future, everything is yours for the taking. Everything is yours to manifest. It's nothing holding you back but you. Go for it. So if this resonated with you, put in the comments that this resonated with you. Let me know where you watching from, and if it resonated, let me know what you gonna do. Are you gonna let it go? You gonna let it ride so you could be happy? You could be free. You could be fulfilled, or you gonna keep on holding on, rendering judgment, and fighting this person for what? For what? So with that, like, share, subscribe. Hype it up, right? So with that, I'm sending love, I'm sending healing your way, and Trinity is out.